So welcome to my Jamb chemistry tutorial video series, and in this video we are going to look at what calculation of what molarity. First, I'm going to walk you through the various formula you can use to solve any molarity question at all in your Jamb past questions, and I'm going to walk you through step by step on how you can use those formula in calculating questions based on what molarity. So what I want to do is to take your notebook, your pen, and your calculator, and make sure you stick to the end of the video, check everything down, and by the end of this video, what you have to do is to go to your textbook and all your past question and find related past question and solve. That is the easiest way to cover this topic. If you are new here, please consider subscribing, and if you find this video helpful, give it a like because it helps to spread to other persons. Now let's get into it. So before we start the calculation aspect, now let's look at what the various formulas you can use to calculate what molarity questions. So the first thing you want to look at what molarity equals to what mole or what volume. Mole is okay, and this volume can either be what in dm³ or what liter. So you can use any one of these. So the units of molarity. So the units of molarity is going to be what mole per liter or what mole per what dm³. So you should take note of this one here, very important. Now remember, this one is the primary formula you can use in calculating molarity. Now, but if you should break it down, here we have mole equals to what mass or what molar mass. Now so when you break mole down, mass over what molar mass. Now one calculation you must actually master is your mole constant calculation. Now because you have like 3 to 4 calculation on that in your exam, so I want you to go and practice very well. I've done video on that. Now go to the description below, you see video that will take to mole constant calculation. Also, I've done video on how you can calculate molar mass of a compound. Not only that, I've done video on percentage composition of each of the elements present in that compound. So these are videos I've done. You can check the description. Maybe after this video and go and watch them. It's very important because these are stuff you are going to see in your exam. So remember, let's go back. Mole equals to mass or molar mass, right? Now if you should write this one again, molarity equals to mole divided by volume. You see, also the same thing with this guy here, right? So anyway, I see my mole, I can put mass or molar mass, you get. So my molarity is equals to mole equals to mass or molar mass, right? Mass or molar mass divided by volume. You get that? So if I should change it to times, what am I going to get? I want to have molarity equals to mass or molar mass times 1 over volume. You get? So it means that my molarity equals to mass or molar mass times volume. This is another calculation. This is another formula you can use in calculating molarity. If the question is given to you and the question contains mass and volume, you can easily use the formula to do the calculation. Do you get that? So here we have molarity equals to mass or molar mass and volume. So there are two formulas you can use in molarity calculation. Making my formula here we have mass equals to molarity times molar mass times volume. Now you can only use this formula here when the question says you will calculate mass, the molarity is given to you and the volume is given to you. This way you can use from here, right? Now if you make molar mass instead of formula, molar mass is going to be mass over molarity times volume. So this is another formula you can use, because most times they will ask you to calculate the molar mass of the compound, the mass and the molarity and the volume is given to you. So these are various formulas you can easily use in your concentration what calculation. So the next thing you want to look at is the density. Now remember, density is equals to what mass per what unit what volume. Density, mass per what unit what volume. Now if you should make mass the formula here, we have mass equals to what density times what volume. So you can also use formula here. Now, but remember here, mass equals to what molar mass times molarity times molar mass times what volume, right? So here we have mass equals to what molarity times what molar mass times what volume. Now capital letter M is known as what molarity. Do you get that? So if you should equate these two together here, remember mass equals to this one and mass equals to this one. Here we have density times what volume equals to what the molar mass, sorry, the molarity times molar mass times what volume. Do you get that? So making density formula here, divide both sides by what? Divide both sides by what? Volume. 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 So what will happen here? Here we have density equals to what? Molarity times what? Molar mass. In the sense that if you should what make molarity formula here we have divide both sides by molar mass. So here we have molarity equals what? Density over what? Molar mass. So we have to add these two things to what our formula here. Here we have density equals to what? Molar mass times molarity times what? Molar mass, right? Molarity times what? Molar mass. Then here we have molar mass equals to what? Density over what? Molar mass. So these are the formulas we are going to use in this what video here. So these are what various formulas we are using in this video. So now let's jump to the calculation aspect. Now let's start applying these formulas I've given to you. How do we apply this formula? So now let's say the first one, board. Now, what is the concentration of what solution containing 2 grams of what sodium hydroxide in 100 cm of what solution? You get. Now concentration is also known as what? Molarity. So solution. Now they say she will calculate what the molarity, which is what concentration, molarity. That's what you actually what calculate. Now what is the concentration, right? That's what you're actually looking for. Now they get what the mass of what sodium hydroxide NaOH is what 2 what gram. And they went for that to give what the solution, the volume of the solution, volume of what solution equals what 100 cm what cube. Now remember, molarity or concentration, the unit of volume is dm cube. So you must convert what cm cube to what dm cube. Remember, 1 dm cube is only equal to 1000 what cm cube. Do you get that? So so to convert cm cube to dm cube, you have to what, divide this one by what 1000. If you divide it by 1000, what I'm going to get is 0.1 dm cube. Now you can't use this volume here in the calculation because molarity is only expressed in what in dm cube, the volume mole per what dm cube. So whenever what the volume is being given to you in what in cm cube, now what you have to do is to work right to dm cube. Now cm cube and milliliter are the same thing. Then dm cube and what liter are what they're the same thing. So you have to convert cm cube to what to dm cube by divided by what 1000. Now the next you want to do is what to calculate the molar mass of NaOH. This is the next you want to do here. If you calculate what the molar mass of NaOH of what NaOH, here we have what. So the molar mass of sodium is what 20 what 3, not 40. So it's going to be what 23 times 1 plus what 16 times 1 plus what? 1 times 1. If you do the calculation, here you're going to have 40 grams per what? Per mole. So how do we calculate what my molarity now? Now since the mass is big to us volume, so we are going to use molarity equals what? Mass over what? Mass over molar mass of the compound times what? Volume. Remember, we have derived this formula here, right? So because now the main reason why I use this formula here, because the mass of the compound is big to us and the volume is big to us, we can easily get our molar mass of what? The compound which we have got down here, 40 grams per mole. So what you have to do here is to substitute it into what? The formula here. So here we have molarity equals what? Mass. Mass is what? 2 grams. Well, what? My molar mass is what? 40 grams per mole times what? My volume is what? 0.1. You get right? dm cubed. So, but you can easily ignore all this one here. So, punch your calculator 0.5. Do you get that? 0.5. Now, what is units? Remember, I told you that unit is what? Mole per what? dm cubed. Most times, this mole per dm cubed can be represented what? In capital letter M. Right? So, it can also be 0.5 capital letter what? M. They are all what? The same thing. So you can see how you can use something to solve the question here. So what you want to do here, now depending on the type of question given to you, that way you are going to use the formula to what? To know the formula to what? To use. So now look at what the second one. This second question look like what? The first question. So I want to pay very close attention. What mass of sodium hydroxide present in what? 200 cm cube of what? 0.1 mole per dm cube sodium hydroxide what? Solution. Now they are giving us what? The options. So once you calculate, we don't get anyway this option. You know that our calculation is wrong. So now let's look at the question. Now let's solve the solution. And the first thing I want to do here is to what? Understand the question. Is that what mass of sodium hydroxide? So by calculating what mass, you are being asked to calculate what? The mass of what? NaOH. Do what you are giving here, right? Present in what? 200 cm cube. So volume is given to us to be what? 200 what? Cm cube. Remember, I told you that you convert what? Cm cube to what? To dm cube by divide by what? 1000. If you divide by 1000, here you have 0.2 what? Dm cube. Do you understand? So that is the first one to do here. Whenever it is given Cm cube by calculating molarity or concentration, you must convert to what? To dm cube. How do you convert to dm cube? By divide by what? 1000. Divide 200 by 1000, you are going to get 0.2 dm cube. Now, what is the next thing here? The molarity of what? NaOH is going to also be what? 0.1 mole per what? dm cube. We have calculated our molar mass. Molar mass of what? NaOH is what? 40 grams per what? Per mole. So we have already done this for previously. Yes, we have done this for what? Previously. So how are we going to do it here? So remember, we are calculating what? Mass of what? Sodium hydroxide. So the formula I'm going to use is what? Mass equals what? The molarity. Remember, the capital letter M is what? Molarity times what? The molar mass times what? Volume. All you have to do here is to substitute your value. My mass equals what? My molarity is what? 0.1. My molarity is what? 0.1. 0.1 times my molar mass is what? 40. Then my volume is what? 0.2. So what you have to do here is to what? Punch your calculator. 0.8 gram. So what is the option here? The option is what? C. You get. So these are to solve questions. This is what this formula here. So those formulas I've given to you by at the start of this video here, they are very key in what solving questions like this. Now let's move to the third question. The third question. From the third question here, they say what? Pure sulfuric acid is what? Is a liquid of what? 1.84 density. What volume of it will require preparing 250 cm cube of what 0.2 molarity solution here. Now here are the option. Now let's calculate here. Now this one is a little bit complex than what we have been doing. So please, I'd like you all to pay very close attention. Solution. Now the density is given to me to be what 1.84. Now the unit is going to be what gram per what dm cube. Remember, density is what mass per what volume. Do that. The mass is what is in gram. The volume is what dm cube. Now the main reason why it's dm cube because I talk about what molarity here. Do you get that? Now they say what is the volume? So they're asking about the volume here. Do you get that? They're asking about the volume here. Remember, before you can actually calculate the volume, you must know the mass, right? So the volume here is going to be what? If you should make volume solve formula, like density equals to what mass or what mass over what volume, right? Now, because they are asking us to look at the volume of the solution when they give us density, right? So if you should make volume solve formula now, here we have volume equals to what mass over what density. It's okay. So once we can get the mass of the solution here, can you calculate what the volume? So how do we do that? That is how we are giving what the other parameters. So if you look at the question here, it's that now volume of the solution here. Now they give us volume of the solution here. Volume of solution is what 250 cm cube. 250 cm cube. Remember, I told you that you must convert cm cube to dm cube by divided by 1000, right? If you divide 250 by 1000, here we are going to have 0.25 dm cube. You get? Now they went for that to what? They give us the molarity. Molarity of what? Now sulfuric acid. Sulfuric acid is what? H2XO4. They gave us to be what 0.2 what molarity here. Remember that this one is also known as what mole per dm cube, right? Now, so the next thing we have to do is to calculate the molar mass. Molar mass of what? H2XO4. Do you get that? Remember the atomic mass of hydrogen is what? 1 times 2 plus 32 times 1 plus what? 16 times 4, right? So you're going to be 2 plus 32 plus what? 64. And you give what? 98 gram per mole. You get? So what we want to do now is what? Calculate the mass of H2SO4. Mass of what? H2SO4. That's what you are doing here. Now, because we have to calculate the mass from mass, right? Put the one in the density, right? When we put it in density, then we can also solve the question. So remember, I gave you a formula that says what? Mass equals what? The molarity times molar mass times volume, right? So remember, my molarity is what? 0.2. My molar mass is what? 98. My volume is what? 0.25 dm cube. So mass equals to what? Equals to 0.2 times molar mass is what? 98 times my volume is what? 0.25. Do you get that? So what you have to do is what? Punch your calculator. 0.2 times 98 times 0.25. Here we are what? 4.9 what gram. So this is what my mass here. So I'll write this place here. So my mass is equal to what? 4.9 what gram. Do you that? Density, remember density is given to me to be what? 1.84 gram per what? Gram per dm cube. Density equals to what? 1.84 gram per what? Dm cube. Now they are asking us to look for what? They are asking us to look for the volume. right? So remember, density equals to what? Density is equals to mass over what? Volume. I'm making what the volume is of formula here. Here we have volume equals to what? Mass over what? Density. Check it out. Mass over density. So if you should plug in our value here, my mass is this one here. 4.9 gram over what? My density is what? 1.84 gram per dm cube. Now, if you should punch out, remember here is what gram, right? 4.9 gram. So 4.9 divided by what? 1.84. Here we have 2.66. Volume equals to what? 2.66 dm cube. So that is what is the answer here. So if you should look at it here, the option is what? Is the P here. Do you get that? So we have seen how you can what apply what the various formula in what calculating what variety of a question. Now we are going to stop our class here, but in our next video we are going to do the one that involve reacting what masses. That one is a little bit complex here. I don't want to do it because this video is already too long. So I believe you are going to value from this video, and I believe you have taken every single thing down here, right? Please, if you have any question, you can leave at the comment section. Do that, or you can go to the description. You see a link that will take to our personal group chat for Jamb students. So you can click on the link, and it takes you to the WhatsApp group where you can ask questions and do our online class there too. You get. If you like this video and you find one in this video, please give it a like and subscribe to the channel, because we are create content like this that is going to help you. Make sure you don't miss the next video. Thanks for watching.